So I'm going to be really quick. Fucking hell, my hair's ginger, innit? I need to stop wearing my hat now while it's sun's out. Get it blonde like my son's, like the entity called my son. Wowzers. When you get to that fucking place. Shit. And you can only get to this place by an experience of this place. And then when all the bullshit falls away, when you're met with another entity, you see. I went for a period of time where I was trying to fight the moment in front of me. I was trying to, through my own mental activity, through my own ego, through my own conditioned mind, through my own program, fighting with the thoughts in my head, fighting with the mental activity. This shouldn't be this way. It has to be a different way. They shouldn't be like that. Why are they like that? Why are they behaving like that? Why are they reacting like that? Then I come to realise that they're reacting like that because they don't know any different. They don't know any other way. They don't know any other way but to live as the identifier. They don't know any other way but to live as the ego, to live as the conditioned mind, to live as the program, to live in the matrix and of the matrix. They know no other way. So how can you ever judge? How can you ever have an opinion or view when you just see the entity in front of you that is just playing out their perfect game because they've been shown no other way? They don't know that the ego's asleep at night. They don't know the conditioned mind is asleep at night. They don't know that when they wake up in the morning, the only thing that they're addicted to is form. The only thing that they're unaware that the only thing they're addicted to is the labels. The labels they got given when they were children. So they're living their whole lifetime in a false state of reality. It's a collective insanity. Believing other people's stories. Believing other people's conditioned minds, believing other people's matrix. Identifying with that as a sense of self. Unaware that they believe that the dreamer dreaming the dream. The dream, don't get your human shit mixed up with dream. Dream being mental activity. Dream being the mental noise. When you go to sleep and you dream, you go to sleep and you're aware of the mental activity. The awareness, the consciousness that is aware of everything is aware of the mental activity. There is only consciousness that is aware of this moment. It's my consciousness that is experiencing this moment. It's my consciousness that is experiencing that man walking over there. It's the consciousness that is hearing the words leaving my mouth. It's my consciousness that is experiencing the sun. It's the same consciousness, it's the same awareness that is experiencing the dream, experiencing the mental activity at night time. Unfortunately, in the morning when you wake up, the mental activity is still there. But the conditioned mind was woken up. The ego's woken up. The program's woken up. The matrix is woken up. So because you've been shown no other way but to label and to identify with it, you become the identifier. You live your whole lifetime listening to the ego. Your ego is in conversation with the mental activity. So you don't even see the awareness. You don't even know that you're the consciousness experiencing the mental activity and experiencing the ego. You're the thing that is aware of them both. So at night time, when you're aware, when your consciousness is aware of the dream, you wake up in the morning. That conditioning, that program is somebody else's stories. It's somebody else's conditioned mind that you've been shown no other way but to adopt as a sense of self. When all the time the awareness, the consciousness is experiencing both of them. It's witnessing and it's aware of the mental activity. It's witnessing and aware of the thing that is talking back to the mental activity. In that space you go 2 steps back into pure consciousness. And then what is happening? You're just the consciousness experiencing the moment. Without your fucking bullshit. Without what mummy told you when you were 1. Drop all the labels. Drop all the conditioning, all the programming and come into this infinite space. Because it is that space that will be there at death. If you were to die in this moment, if you were to die in your sleep, you'd be left in that space of the dream state. There's nothing to fear. You won't know. You just drop all this form. You drop all your identification. You've never been this. This is a blip. This is just you're just woken up in this simulation. This is just a tiny part. This is nothing, guys. These trees will outlive your human lifetime. You think you're all that. Why? Because you've got an ego. Does that dog think it's all that? Does that tree think it's all that? Does that dog think it's got it all figured out? No, because it hasn't got a sense of self. There's no conditioned mind there. There's no program there. So it just lives the moment. It is the moment. But because you've been on this planet 30, 60, 70, 80 years, and you believe what the governments have been telling you, you believe what your doctors have told you, you believe what the news has told you, you've been conditioned and programmed to the hilt. Hook, line and sinker. I could go up to that lady and say, tell me what the name is for that, if she's got what she calls a dog, whatever, I don't know, she might not have a dog, I think she has got a dog. Tell me what the name is for that. And she'll instantly say, that's a dog. Well, conversation fucking finished for me. They don't see the life force. As soon as you tell a child that is a dog, they will never see a dog the same again. Once you tell a child that is a human named Dad, they will never see that human the same again. Once you tell a child that is a human named Dad with a story, trapdoor shut. For the rest of its lifetime. Unless it's lucky enough, unless that soul is meant to come into a place of dropping all the labels. Unless that soul is meant to align with its true self. Some people will live their whole lifetimes until the day they die still in the simulation. At death, still labelling. Oh, mummy's here, daddy's here. My child's here. My dog's here. My fucking God's here. Jesus is here. Oh, thank fuck for that. We'll go with them. We'll go with the labels. We'll go with the conditioning. We'll go with the program. We'll be still in the matrix and off the matrix. Off they go to the white light. To be spat back out into another body. What to? To be conditioned and programmed again. What's being conditioned and programmed? The consciousness. The consciousness that is always there. It's aware. It's sat behind both of the conditioning and the thoughts in the head. It's aware of this whole play. But it's not the identifier. People will spend their whole lifetime in a conversation with the thought, identifying with the thoughts. You could be hear me talking now, and you'll be in a conflab with the thoughts in your head. Were from your own past. 100% of a human lifetime will be regurgitated shit from the past. In the moment, listening to stories from the past. After the moment's finished, regurgitating shit from the past. Planning the future from the past. Or why? Because they're identifying with something that is false. They're identifying with a ghost from the past. They're identifying with the thoughts in the head. And all that can do is regurgitate shit from the past. So it has to be false. You might think that what is there then? What is there if I'm not the identifier, if I'm not the thoughts in my head? If I've been led down this fucking road of no sense, if I've been led down this path of other people's programming, of other people's conditioning, the people that are in charge of this planet are generations ahead of where you're at. Absolutely generations ahead of your conditioning and your programming. But luckily, entities are being born onto this planet that don't believe the labels. They don't believe the stories. They don't believe the conditioning. They don't believe the programming. They're coming onto the planet and they're not believing what the parents are telling them. They're certainly not believing what the grandparents are telling them. And once the grandparents leave this planet, once the parents leave this planet, then these people that are on this planet will be in space consciousness. They'll be living in pure consciousness. There'll be no stories, no identification with other people's minds, no labelling. There'll just be pure beingness walking the planet. That's a beautiful place to be, no? What? The place that you are when you're dreaming at night. Woo! Get to that place in this lifetime. No identification. Are you identified with the dream? In the dream at night, is the ego there identifying with the dream? Or is it just in bliss, aware of the dream? If you're having bliss dreams, if you're believing in the matrix and you're believing in the conditioned mind, it could be very likely that you're not having good dreams. That'll be the state of your death. If you were to drop dead in this moment, you'll believe it. You'll be in that state of a dream state. You'll be believing whatever's in the mind at that moment in time. So that's why it's so important to wake up right now. So important to come to see that that's just mental activity. That everything that you've been told is somebody else's story. Everything that you've been told is somebody else's conditioning, is somebody else's programming. Everything that you've been told is just a label. So then you come into the space of there's just life force. You probably see me from 10 years ago. You might know me as an entity called Sam from 10 years ago, running a charity in Norwich. That story is what you'll believe for the rest of your life. You will never see me as anything else. Why? Because of your own conditioning, because of your label to me. You will label me as Sam, as somebody who ran a charity in Norwich. If you know me from that time. You might see somebody from school in 60 years' time and you will still see that person from fucking school. You will still label that person as a person from school. You won't see the life force in front of you. So at that death, when you come to that moment at death and you're in that dreamlike state, which can be bliss if you come to this place in this lifetime, you'll see all that. And you'll be identifying. And off you go on the wheel of samsara. What to? To be spat back out into body, to be labelled again because your mum and dad are fucking labelling it. Because your mum and dad are in the matrix and of the matrix. They're in the dreamer dreaming the dream. The dream, don't forget, don't use your human shit. Don't use your human label as the dream, as being whatever you call a dream. The dream is just mental activity. You don't have a dream at night time, there's just mental activity there, isn't there? You're not the one you're not the one. You're the one who is aware of the dream. You're the one who is aware of the mental activity. You're the consciousness aware of that. Exactly the same during the day. You're the consciousness aware of the mental activity. It's just in the morning, your ego's awake. Your conditioned mind's awake. And it starts to identify with it. Take away the identifier. And then you take away tier 2. Then what you're left with tier 1. And the consciousness that is aware. By taking away, I mean be aware of it. That you will never get rid of thought. What I'm saying is don't identify, don't get in conversation with the mental activity. You don't get in conversation with it at night time, do you? You just let it play out. Let it play out during the day. Don't get involved with it. Let the mental activity be there. Let the identifier try and identify, but be aware that be the consciousness that is aware of the thing trying to identify. Let them both be there. And then you come into the place of, this is consciousness experiencing this moment. Without any of your bullshit. There's 83 billion people on this planet and 99.9% of them are just running their own simulation. Are running their own program through their own conditioned mind. Through the stories that they've been told. Why? Because they're identifying with them. If you was born into a totally different environment, you'd be identifying with something totally different. It's your ego that's identifying. It's your conditioning that's identifying. Everyone is the consciousness behind it that is aware of it. The birds, consciousness experiencing the take away the birds, the consciousness experiencing the noise of that life force. Take away the labels. Then you see. There is just that moment and I'm experiencing that moment as consciousness. That dog is experiencing that moment. Take away a dog. That life force is experiencing the moment as consciousness. It's hard to take away the labels when you're talking to other entities, because how can you say that life force without saying the name? That entity experiencing that moment with that other entity. What is it doing? It's just experiencing the life force as consciousness. And then every moment is full of love. Every moment is full of joy. Every moment is full, it has to be. Every moment is alive and kicking. Even if somebody's being a fucking dick, there's still just a life force being a dick. So that's great, isn't it? You're not labelling it, you're not identifying with it. Somebody's stuck in whatever they might be. That's, wow, look at that. Amazing life force. Experiencing that moment as they're experiencing it. Somebody's angry with you, raging. Woo! That is pure life force. Are you going to experience that again as consciousness? But you won't see that as probably mummy or daddy has told you that's a bad person. That's a person named John who's got all this story. Fuck what your mum says. Fuck what your dad says. Because it's just their conditioning, it's just their programming. Imagine if somebody who's aligned with who they are said to you, that's just life force experience in the moment. Wow. How would you go for your lifetime? With no label. No identifying. You'd just see everything popping, wouldn't you? Life would be fucking, it'd be Disneyland everywhere. People raging, people doing, whoa, this is fucking amazing. Look at that life force, look at that life force. Look at that life force doing that life force doing there. You don't get involved in the matrix. You don't get involved in the labelling shit. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Even if something bad happens, it's still just life force happening. It's meant to happen. And people say, oh, this shouldn't have happened. Who the fuck is saying it shouldn't have happened? Who was saying that moment shouldn't have happened? Who are you to say it shouldn't have happened? Who are you to say that moment should be any different? Somebody gets hurt or what? Who are you to say it should be any different than the way it was? Your label is who? I don't see it as that. 9.1% of the people on this planet don't see it as that, more so in these generations that are coming up. I tell my child to take what anyone's telling you, to take what anyone's telling you at school, to take what anyone's telling you anywhere with a pinch of fucking salt. Don't believe them. Because it's just their story, and the quicker entities, the quicker children wake up to that is just somebody's story. The quicker they're freer to align with their own soul. Not with the soul of the parents, not with the soul, not with the ego of the parents. Not with the conditioning of the parents, the conditioning with the people that are around them. The children go to school and say, this is boring, this is shite, I'm not interested. But the parents keep fucking sending them. Why? Because the parents are conditioned and programmed to do that. They're in the matrix and of the matrix. Well, your child, their soul is telling you, this isn't for me, I don't align here. But you'll keep doing it. You'll keep pushing them into things because That's what society has told you to do. That's what the Matrix has told you to do. A child comes to you. This is, I don't like this, I don't want to be here. Stay with it for a month or two. But don't keep pushing them into it. Because what you'll do when you're pushing them into it, you'll just shut that trap door shut. You'll shut the beingness off. That this is how they should be. They have to conform. They have to come into line. They have to believe people's stories. They have to believe what mummy's telling them, what daddy's telling them. And all. I knew all this lifetime. These stories people were telling me when I was young, they were just a load of shit. I knew it. I've not been involved in that family setting since I was about 13 years old. Because my soul took me out. It had to take me out. Because it wasn't aligning. So the quicker, if you don't see it, your child will take itself out. The soul of that child will go out, will leave that setting. I'm telling you. If it's meant to be on this journey, if it's meant to be conditioned and programmed, then it will be. It'll stay in that for eternity. It will stay there for the lifetime that it's meant to be. But I'm telling you now, if your soul's not meant to resonate, it will leave that setting. And it will come into alignment with who it's meant to be. So if you're pushing your children into stuff and they're fighting back against it, saying, I don't like this isn't good for me. It's the soul that is saying that. So if you don't listen to them, they will fucking leave that setting. The soul will take them out. So be very, very careful. Be very, very careful. Because you're not fighting anything you're fighting against. You're doing fuck all about it. And the soul will go and align however it's got to align. My little boy, he's fucking 7 and he's already saying this is boring. He falls asleep in class. He's not interested. He's literally nodding off because he's bored. He's not taking the stories in. He likes maths, which is madness. He likes English. He likes doing his reading. He likes doing his writing. History, stories. He's just not fucking interested in it. And that's nobody telling him that. That's his own soul telling him that. This isn't aligning with me. So off he goes. He goes to fucking sleep. So there'll become a point where my little boy is homeschooled, 100%. I won't be doing that. He'll do it himself. His soul will do it. He'll just refuse to go. He's already started to refuse the system. But a lot of children are doing that. A lot of entities are doing that. They're not believing that. Look at them on the planet at the minute. They're not believing what people are telling them. They're free spirits. They're living in alignment with their souls. Space consciousness is here. Pure consciousness is on the planet. There's more people living in this space. There's more people being born into this space. Why? Because it's shifted. It's shifted into this place. So you either come along with it, and you either accept what these youngsters are saying. You either drop all the labels. You either see that you've been conditioned and programmed. Or you'll be off for another cycle, but you won't be coming back to this planet. You'll be off to another fucking planet that's conditioned and programmed to the hilt. What will be off? The awareness, the consciousness. Because your consciousness won't sustain the consciousness on this planet. If you're believing the labels, the conditioning, the program, your consciousness cannot sustain that place. And it'll be off for another journey somewhere else. So it's important. That's why it's important for your consciousness to come to see it in this lifetime. For your consciousness to wake up in this lifetime. For your consciousness to be in the place of awareness of the noise and awareness of the matrix. Drop all the labels. So that you could come back onto this planet for another go. But you're choosing to come back here. You're choosing to come to experience this beauty. What as? Pure life force. And seeing everyone else as that life force. That's a beautiful place to be, no? To be in that dreamlike state, but awake in a body. Wowzers. And that is, people spend thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds going sitting in front of gurus to come to this space of pure consciousness, being aware of the mental activity and being aware of the identifier. Coming to the 2 steps back. People spend thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds and never see it. Why? Because their soul is, they're not meant to see it in this lifetime. Meant to come round, another go, another go, another go. There's 30,000 people on this page. 30,000. How many will come to see this? Not sure. How many will come to see it and to live in this place? In this body? Very few. Very, very few. It's like the amount of how many kid footballers are there? Fucking millions all over the world, aren't there? How many make it into the Premier League? Very, very few. It's probably less than that, the people that live this every day. The rest of them are just playing football, aren't they? There are millions of them just playing football. Billions, sorry, playing football. That's what it's like with entities. Billions are identifying with the thoughts. Very few make it into that place. Anyway, I'm going to go have some food. And I might come sunbathing again this afternoon. Yeah, hope everyone has a fantastic day. For the rest of today, step into that place of awareness. Step into that place of consciousness, experiencing the moment. If you find yourself in conversation with the thought, take 3 deep breaths. Be aware that you're having a conversation with just mental activity. Be aware that you're now the dreamer dreaming the dream. And then come into the space of I can be consciousness experiencing this. I can't be. I am consciousness who's experiencing the daydream. In the daydream, you have the mental activity and the conditioned mind. So your consciousness experiencing the daydream. Just exactly the same as your consciousness experiencing the nighttime dream. Your consciousness experiencing the mental activity. It's exactly the same during the day. It's just that you've got another non-entity here called the ego. Hope everyone has a fantastic day. Namaste.